Welcome to Married with Cards with Dan and Law Norton.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. Welcome to Married with Cards with me, Dan, and my wife, Law. We're a Pokemon collecting podcast, TCG podcast, that kind of thing. Today's going to be a bit different. We're not really going to have the regular sections and stuff because we've both done some interesting events and stuff over the last couple of weeks. Law especially has just got back from a trip to Canada for a pretty big Pokemon event, which we'll cover in a lot of detail, I think. So I think we're just going to jump into it.
Okay.
Jump into stuff. I will say what I was doing while you were away. I was sorting some more cards. There wasn't really anything major to catch up on with the sorting, other than a very funny story that I genuinely thought I was losing my mind. Because I was combining some of my binders. So I used to just have two binders for every set, one which held the regular set and the variants, and one which held the reverse sets. But some sets that go next to each other, reverse sets are small enough where two reverse sets will fit in a binder. So I was combining some of those. And I had my Rebel Clash binder, and I noticed it finished, with a page to go before the halfway mark. So I thought, okay, great, that'll fit into the back behind Sword and Shield, because that went just one page over. So I took Rebel Clash out, started putting it in the back of the Sword and Shield binder, and didn't fit. So I was like, I must have miscounted. Took it back out, went, right, well, Rebel Clash goes back into its binder. Plan was to maybe put Darkness Ablaze in next to it, rather than have Darkness and Vivid Voltage together. Stop putting it back in the binder, and no, there is a space. So I start trying to work it out, and after moving the set 3 times, finally figured out that the binder that my Rebel Clash reverse set was in was an error binder that had an extra page. So it had like an extra double page in the middle, which meant that that binder specifically would fit the reverse sets of both Sword and Shield and Rebel Clash together, but no other binder would. So I then had to take Rebel Clash out again, because that one was going in the second half of the binder, then take Sword and Shield out of its binder, and that was the whole thing. But all of my binders are now combined. They're all up there. Sword and Shield's now totally ready to move back upstairs and bring down whatever era I'm doing next. Probably Sun and Moon. So that's going to be next week. I did also get Mega Evolutions all sorted and put away.
Awesome.
The only thing I didn't put away, because we discussed it today, we decided that, I think we've said on here before, normally in the past we've just had our own entirely separate collections. We've decided what we're going to do now is sets we're going to collect together, or at least the good stuff from sets, because because we open so much, getting rid of an extra regular set and reverses would be getting like $10 in bulk or something. So I'd rather just hang on to it. So we decided what we're actually going to do is, instead of having the hits be in one person's binder, we're just going to get a separate nice zip-up binder and have that be like the Mega Evolution era hits, and then we'll just fill in as much as we can through the era, which should end up looking nice once it's all set up and done. And in the future, we'll maybe go through and do that for some other eras. Maybe. Like, I'm thinking Sun and Moon would be a good era to do that for.
Maybe, yeah.
Because, we're both missing a ton. There's stuff where, there's no way we'd be both getting stuff from Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield is maybe one where we could look at it too, but there's some sets where we're both pretty close on, so maybe we wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But for Mega, because we're doing it going forward, it makes sense. Anyway, do you want me to talk about the event I did, or do you... Well, maybe mention the Cup and Challenge that you're talking for a bit. You played a Cup and Challenge before you went away.
Yeah. So last weekend, I went to a Cup at one of our local stores and decided to play the Memist deck. Normally you would play probably 8 energy at most in a Pokemon deck, and I played 28. So was basically just there for a good time, not a long time.
And was this the Abomasnow deck?
Yes. So this is Mega Abomasnow. His attack is to discard the top 6 cards of your deck, and you do 100 damage for each energy card that's discarded, each water energy that's discarded. So yeah, I was just there to try and do as much damage as possible. I went 2 and 3 at the Cup, but had a lot of very funny matchups, funny situations happen because of the deck I was playing.
And was it just still best of 1, or was it best of 3 Swiss?
It was best of 1 Swiss with a best of 3 top cut. Obviously, I did not make top cut with a 2 and 3 record. And then went straight over to the store that I run League at to play with the same deck in their challenge.
Okay.
And then went 3-2
Yeah.
at the challenge and got myself some championship points.
Yeah.
So we're on the board with champ points. Maybe I can win that Ace Trainer card at the end of the year.
You probably have to, because you won't be playing any regionals, you're probably going to have to do pretty well at some cups if you want a chance, I think, of getting the Ace Trainer.
Probably.
Because the Ace Trainer is like 200 points.
Yeah.
So you have to max out your cup best finish to get it.
Or...
Well, your challenge best finish, if you max it, is 60 of those 200 points.
Is that it?
Because it's 15 for winning a challenge, and best finish limit's 4.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can only get 60 points from challenges over the course of the year.
So max out challenges and 3 cups would do it?
Yeah. Win 4 challenges and 3 cups.
No big deal.
Yeah. Let's maybe do that over the next year.
Yeah, and I'm at 8 points so far.
8 points. Yeah. Because if you go to regionals, you're probably only going to regionals if you're on staff.
For this year,
You're not
almost
You're not
certainly,
going to
yeah.
go to regionals to play. So what I was doing on the day you were doing that was I was running our store's first Lorcana event. It was the set championship. So it was the first Lorcana event I've run. I haven't actually played Lorcana in over a year because I haven't played since like set 2 or 3 was out. But it was a relatively small event. We had 14 players. Like, we capped at 16 and a couple didn't show. We thought there was a good chance a few didn't show because we staggered it with another store.
Mm-hmm.
So like they'd have their Swiss, and the idea was players who didn't make top cut at their store could make it to our store to play in ours. But one of the players who'd signed up at our store made top cut at the other store, so couldn't come. And I think one of the players just forgot that it was on, and his friends called him from the event, and he was like, "No, I'm out playing Pokemon Go. What are you talking about?" So that was a 4 rounds of Swiss cut to top 4 event. It was quite funny because the top 8 get a special promo card, and then the winner gets a champion mat. So after the end of 3 Swiss rounds, the top 8 could have tied to lock top 8, and because there was one person at 3-0 and 7 people at 2-1. And then after that, it was 1-2s and lower. So if the 4 tables had all tied, they would have all guaranteed the promo. But some tables didn't because people wanted to get into the top 8 for the chance of playing for the mat.
Oh, sure.
Because tying wouldn't have guaranteed people getting into top 4. It would have only guaranteed that they'd all made top 8. It wouldn't be exact who was getting in. And I think one of the players at table 4, I think, really wanted to play it out to try and get into the top 4, because in terms of value, the card is $40-50. The mat's over 200.
Wow.
And there was obviously other prizes for top 4. There was more packs and stuff for top 4.
Sure.
So they wanted to play that out too. In the end, it ended up being 2 of the tables drew. Table 2 ID'd. One of them got into cut.
Okay.
And then table 3 ID'd, but they ID'd because they were happy to just get the dragon card and go home. Like they still played for fun, but they were like, yeah, we can lock it up. Both of us get this promo. That's fine. So they did that, and then it was a long night. We didn't get out the store about 10 o'clock, and I'd been there since 10 o'clock that morning. But it was because we started late because we were staggering with the other store.
For sure.
So, learned a few things. There were some players there who'd run these for other stores and who played in a lot, so they helped me out with some things along the way just to make sure it was all going smoothly. And there was an incident in Top Cut where I was doing a deck check, and one player had like a slightly marked sleeve. There was like slightly different colors, like, when Dragon Shields are just definitely 2 different colors out of the 2 different boxes. And it was a one of that was in the different color. And it was like, I literally just had to go to a player that wasn't in Top Cut and just say, hey, you know the decks, how important is this card? Because if that is like this is critical, you need to find it every game, that's 100% a game loss. If not, it's just a warning and a resleeve. And in the end, it was a ramp spell, and they had multiple other ramp spells, but just one copy of that one. So
Gotcha.
I'd figured it was kind of this is just going to be a warning, because this is one of a few different effects that kind of does the same thing. So,
Sure.
So yeah, that ended up being how that went. So it was a pretty decent event. And then what most of this is going to be about. You went to Canada. Why don't you tell us what you went to Canada for first?
Yeah. So I was invited as a representative from one of our local stores to a retailer summit for Pokemon. So it was basically a bunch of presentations from TPCI representatives, from some local community members, just kind of going. This one was focused on a lot of the changes that are happening and have happened recently.
Sure.
But just kind of a way for Pokemon to connect with some of the local stores, get some of the information out. And we were not under an NDA for this particular summit. I know previous summits have been in the past.
So you clarified you were allowed to talk about.
Yeah, so this is not only am I allowed to share the information that I'm going to be sharing, it was highly encouraged.
Okay, so kind of like when I talked about it in a video when was it PAX, where we learned about the club stuff that was coming.
Yeah.
Highly encourage people to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess day before it started, when you traveled up there, you went to a card shop. And you bought me some cards.
Yeah, so normally we would talk about cards added to the collection. We, I want to say it was maybe a 5-minute walk from the hotel we were staying at. We found a little card shop in, not a mall, but there was just kind of a weird building that we walked into, went up a couple flights of stairs, and it seemed like there would be a number of businesses kind of housed in this building.
Oh, so it's like one of those card stores that jumped into an old office block when...
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a few of those around Columbus as well.
So we went in there, and it looked like there was an event going on as well, or at least some people gathered playing. But I noticed they had some secret layers, some of the magic drops. So picked you up 3 of the Sonic secret layers you're missing.
So I think you got me both of the non-foils and then one of the foils. That So one of the foils I'm still needing. I think this has happened last 2 weeks as well. The Iron Maiden drop happened, but I'd slept late that day, and I got one of the Iron Maiden ones in non-foil. So again, at least try and get the other one in non-foil as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe try and get the foil ones. I guess these are the Iron Maiden ones. I'm not too pressed about having both foil and non-foil as well as the Sonics. So but that's good. So there's only one more Sonic one for me to find.
Yeah,
which I'll find at some point. Yeah. All right. So now the event itself. It was like 2 full days, right?
Yeah. So we I got in on Sunday. That was when we did the card shop. Monday we started off about 9 a.m. And the first thing we talked about was actually the Pokemon Club stuff.
Cool.
So a couple updates to information on Pokemon Club. It's a lot of the same that we've already shared. I'm sure you can link to your previous video if anyone wants to look back at that.
But it's libraries and schools, right?
Yes. So currently, they actually just released it at, I think, the start of this month. Currently, only libraries are able to sign up for Club.
Okay.
It's done through the American Library Association. So if if you're interested in, of a local library, as long as they're part of the ALA, they can apply for it. There's some background checks, some things that have to be done on the American Library Association side of things. But basically, any library that's part of the ALA, including school libraries, are able to apply for this. And what we found out as we were kind of going through everything is the value of what Pokemon Club is sending out to these libraries is actually more than the cost of the ALA membership.
Okay.
Because they're sending out, I think it was like 6 of the, not Build and Battle, the Battle Academy boxes.
Okay.
Multiple of the battle decks, the like Pikachu Charizard ones. That raid kit that we talked about.
Yeah. So
with everything that's being sent out, if there's a library that's not already part of the ALA but is potentially interested, it's a pretty easy, I think, convince your local library to sign up. Just the value that they're getting out of it is phenomenal.
Nice. So you said some libraries have already started receiving this stuff.
They haven't started receiving it.
They've
Libraries
just started
have
getting approval.
applied. They've started looking at approvals.
Okay.
They had some vague numbers of something like 300 some have applied.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
And what their goal is for this to be huge.
Yeah.
They want something like 10 clubs for every league.
Wow, okay. I mean, that will not be possible everywhere because I think we have 15 leagues in Columbus.
Something like that.
There's no way we can have 150 libraries doing these events.
But the goal is also to expand beyond libraries.
Okay.
This is kind of, because it's being run through ALA,
Yeah.
it's an easy starting point for them.
Sure.
All the applications, everything are gone not through Pokemon. So they're able to kind of work with another group to get everything set up. But eventually they want to do like community centers, different areas that are going to be really accessible for kids to get to.
Okay.
So I'm pretty excited about what they're doing so far.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I still want to go check out our library and see if
do that.
If they are going to be doing this, if they want any help.
Maybe we can go tomorrow. I need to go to the post office anyway, so we can go tomorrow and go to the post office and the library.
There we go, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess the other thing is each library is going to have its own volunteer system. So if you're a professor, a parent, someone who's interested in bringing this to your local library, just go have a chat with them because they may...
Okay, so people who are involved in Pokemon in other ways can get involved with these clubs.
Yes. So the primary person is going to be, each library should have someone who's like a specialist in working with children in the like 6 to 16 age range, somewhere like that. But I'm sure many libraries are going to want help with this.
Right. Cool.
Oh, one thing I wanted to talk with you about, there was a presentation from someone who's a TPCI rep, who is a former MTG pro player.
Okay.
Was top 8 on the Pro Tour, I want to say he said back in like 98, 2000, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, it was Andrew. Yeah, it was Andrew Wolf.
Andrew Wolf. Okay. I don't know the name, so I'm guessing they've probably been out of Magic for a while then.
Yeah.
So the Magic players whose names I would recognize from the 90s are the ones who still like pop up and play. And like the most of the Magic players I think I would recognize are probably the late 2000s, early 2010s on. That's when I was really...
When you were playing most
Well, I didn't start playing until 2014, but like I think I watched a lot of old coverage when I first started getting into it. So I guess that's when also there was proper coverage. Because back in the 90s, there was barely any real coverage for Pro Tours and top 8s and stuff.
Gotcha, that makes sense. But I mean, it's pretty cool to see someone who was so involved early on is still in Pokemon, is still kind of working on stuff.
Well, Magic does do a lot of employment through the Pro Tour. Like, there's a lot of people who work in Magic development who got there because they were just really good on the Pro Tour and Wizards just snapped them up.
That's makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, in Pokemon, there's an amount of players like that. Like, Puka's the big one, I think, who people know as was a really good player and then got snapped up by Pokemon.
Yeah.
For them.
Actually, one of the other presenters later is currently in the esports team, came from the Go community.
Oh,
so
nice.
Pokemon does do a lot of that as well, not just with the card game, but with their other games.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
But Andrew was talking about the onboarding process for new stores, which none of our stores are obviously going to be impacted by this because they're already established.
Yeah.
But one of the interesting things is they're trying to make leagues more accessible. So where they're trying to, build a ton of clubs, make it easy for kids to get into the game, they're also trying to make it easier for leagues to start up.
Okay.
And stores no longer need a professor to become a Pokemon League.
Oh, I don't love that.
Yeah. Stores that don't have a professor don't have the same kind of level as stores that do. So you still need a professor to run any of the premiere events, to run
Sure.
pre-releases. It's basically, it's almost like they could have a middle stage in between club and competitive leagues where you can go, you can play casually, you can do your coloring pages or whatever. But if you sign up as a store and don't go through kind of the professor qualifications, you can't actually run any of the events.
My thought is that stores that just want to sell some prize packs now no longer need a professor to sign off on the idea. It's already a problem. It will be more of a problem if they don't need a professor to be involved.
There is that. I mean, we're always hopeful that everything that they send out is very clear. You cannot sell these prize packs.
Yeah, but
But it happens.
The penalty is you don't get to run League anymore and you don't get prize packs anymore. So stores who don't actually want to run League, who just want to sign up so they can sell prize packs, they'll do it, and then if they get caught, they just don't get any more.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know how much action they take against the stores that do it already, because you can definitely trace them when it's like day one of a prize pack release and there's 500 packs in one lot on eBay.
Yeah. It's got to be hard for them to track in some capacity, but
Maybe.
at the same time, yeah, when you find 500 prize packs on eBay,
Yeah, in one lot.
where do you think they're coming from?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just if the stores do false reporting or whatever, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where it's like they can't let the people breaking the rules like ruin it for everyone else, I guess.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way for them to. I mean, I assume they know this, but stores that run leagues need more product. And like I hate to say it, but I don't want to sound biased because like I work in stores that run leagues and we work with stores that run leagues, but I think stores that are actively running Pokemon League and are actively building a community deserve product more than stores that don't. I just think it's like this. If this is a game primarily, which it is, and that's always what Pokemon said, this is a game, it's a game before it's a collectible. They need to be prioritizing stores who are running the game side of it. Like, it's crazy how much, like these like rip and shippers, whatnot, people can get, how much sealed product they can get their hands on when like we're a store that's got a build, we're trying to grow a community, but we're fighting for our life to, get a couple of boxes every now and then.
Yeah. I will say they specifically called out that they would not talk about distribution and printing and stuff like that during the summit.
That's because they need distributors under control.
Yeah.
The bigger reason, like, I'm going to find a bit tangent here, but people get annoyed that, like, I mean, the store I work at, after initial release, we sell stuff at market value.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because after initial release, we have to buy it at market value. And that includes from the distributors. Like, distributors will come to us, like, with Destined Rivals, like, MSRP on the box of Destined Rivals, same as every other set, it's like 160 something if you work out the price of the packs. So, very first shipment, we get them at, I mean, usually, I don't know, I'll say, I'm guessing numbers I don't actually know for our store, but I know for most stores, you pay around 60% of what you're selling your product for all products across the board. That's
sure.
Every product in like every store, like board game stores and stuff. That's what you pay for board games. I mean, actually, Pokemon percentages you might be paying a little bit higher,
probably, yeah,
towards it. But after that initial shipment, distributors can raise their prices. So if you go into a local game store and you're like, "Oh, this box is $300. Why is it $300?" They probably had to pay the distributor $260 for it.
Yeah, I will say that.
But Pokemon are not raising the price to distributors for market.
Correct.
It's distributors who are the first step on the chain that are raising the prices up. At no point is TPCI ever saying to these distributors, "Oh, well, we couldn't print enough of this set, market value is this, you have to pay us this." It goes to the distributors at the same price. They're the ones who then mark it up based on market value. And I think that's the biggest change that would need to happen to help, like, people who complain about stores selling stuff above MSRP. that's the biggest change there needs to be for stores to sell stuff at MSRP. Is distributors need to be told you sell it at this price. There will still be stores that then try and mark it up, but a lot of the stores, again, especially the ones that run League, won't mark it up. They'll
It'll
do
be
it at MSRP
for them not to.
because stores that run League, they can make money in other ways by having people in playing the leagues, buying snacks, buying other supplies. So, yeah, that's just a bit of a tangent about the annoyance at sealed product and annoyance at distributors.
Yeah. And even though during the summit there was no conversation about distributors, about that kind of stuff, I will say I talked to a couple of store owners, a couple of league leaders who echoed the same thing, that their distributors, in some cases, the distributors are sending out shorted Wave 1s and then
keeping it for Wave 2 because Wave 2 they can change the price.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a huge problem, and I wish we had gotten a chance to kind of talk about that, but
but I guess if this is if it wasn't the right people there at the seminar, like there is obviously TBD has a huge organization. If the people who need to hear that stuff aren't there, then there is no point talking to the wrong people about it because I do hope. I mean, I'm sure they're aware of it, but it does just feel like. And I know that they can't change contracts overnight. I know that it's like if those distributors are on, I don't know, a 15, 20-year contract, like you have to work to timescales. But it would be nice to see them put something in place to say to distributors, okay, you get them from us for this price, you sell them at this price, like the price we would pay for Wave 1.
It's also possible that some of this movement toward, a focus on stores for leagues and kind of moving away from professors, this may be setting a framework for changes with distribution, where Pokemon is one of the few games where you can be an individual and set up a relationship with a distributor and get access to distributor pricing.
Yes, which is a problem.
Yes.
Because people who are doing these rip and ships on whatnots, where they're marking up the product crazy through some of the streams they're doing, they are willing to pay the distributors more than even more than the distributors are wanting to charge at day one. So they you just have to look at how much resellers are getting to be like, oh, you've got 20 times what our actual retail store is getting.
Yeah.
And it's because they're allowed to make this direct deal as an individual, which they shouldn't be able to.
No.
Or it should be fixed pricing. Like if it was fixed pricing, it wouldn't matter because they would be on the same footing as everyone else. But as soon as the distributors are allowed to turn it into a bidding war, especially the smaller, independent game stores are the ones losing out on it, because of the 15 leagues around Columbus, it's 2 of them are part of the same franchise. There's one West and one East, but then all the rest of them are just an individual store. It's not like they're part of some nationwide chain.
There's one that is, but
which one is?
Dragon's Lair.
Oh, okay. How many stores do they have around the US?
I don't know. I know that their main one is in, I believe, Texas. Okay. And that this is a franchisee of that store. Okay.
But the vast majority of all stores, I think, that run Pokemon are locally owned. Most cities you go into, you will find more locally owned, actual dedicated game stores than you will find chain game stores.
Yes.
And it just means that the locally owned stuff gets absolutely shafted by these flippers with a ton of money, or who are running it credit card to credit card or whatever, who can just make a direct deal with the distributor and say, hey, I open stuff on whatnot, can you cut me a good deal? I'll keep buying it as long as it keeps selling. And I think that it would be good if they can address it directly and make it so that you have to have some kind of established business to do it, and not just be like, hey, I've opened an LLC and now I want to buy 10,000 boxes of a set or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of a lot of changes Pokemon needs to make to its distribution model, I think.
It would be helpful for sure.
Yeah.
The next thing I want to do, I want to see if I can walk you through a demo on my phone,
Okay.
and maybe we can show the footage.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Play Pokemon Access app, but this is what the Access app looks like. If you haven't already downloaded it, just search in your Play Store.
Yeah.
So one of the cool things, I can actually show you my championship points.
Oh, there you go. There's the 8 that you got from that.
Yeah.
Challenge.
You can see my nearby stores, stores that I've well, actually,
those are the events you
ones that
played
I've
in,
played
right?
in.
Yeah.
But you can see my nearby stores in the events here, so you can see when we're running our Pokeween stuff.
Yeah.
But
This Saturday.
the thing that I wanted to show is actually this QR code stuff. So up in the corner here, if you tap in the upper right, you can get a QR code that is going to show your player ID information. So as you scan into Pokemon League, you can pull up this QR code, and your professor can just scan your QR code and get you signed in for League.
Cool.
Now, it's kind of a pain because I'm signed in. What if I have a kid? You know,
Sure.
what am I supposed to do? So what we learned is you can actually go and log out. And then I'm going to have you log in real quick.
Okay.
Great. So now you're logged in. There's your information. Here's your QR code. Before I show the other cool thing, I just want to point out that if you long press this QR code, it changes to a barcode scanner.
Oh, nice. So if they're using a barcode scanner rather than a QR code scanner.
Yeah. So you can use this for Tom. And you can
Nice.
scan your players into Tom pretty easily. But as you can see, now it's your information. It's not my information. It's really inconvenient for people to have to log in, log out, log in, log out.
Right.
So if we then go and log you out, the QR code stays up there. And now I can see anyone who's been logged into this phone.
Oh, cool.
So there is actually an easy way for parents to show their kids however many people they need to have
they
logged
also
in.
have to log in once, and then it's always there.
And it's not once, it's something like every 30 days it'll reset.
Okay, that's fair.
But it's really not bad for, you know, and the QR codes will refresh.
Okay.
So you have to log in a couple of times anyway, probably like once a month, something like that. But this is going to be so much easier for leagues that if they haven't already started doing it.
And can you do the long press thing on that one as well while it's...
Sure
okay,
can.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, I wanted to just kind of show that off as an example. One, it's a great resource that I can link people to and say, hey,
Yeah.
my husband and I made this video. Go check out this little section of our podcast.
Cool.
But also for anyone who plays a little bit or is interested in going to leagues to pick up some of the cool promo stuff that is coming out. You know, that's an easy way for you to go into your league and get signed up without having to take a lot of time to do,
cool.
You know.
Yeah.
So speaking of leagues, remember PlayLab?
Yeah, the thing you did at Worlds a couple of times.
Mm-hmm. Now we have PlayLab at home.
Okay.
But in a good way, not in a Temu way.
So PlayLab was just teaching people how to play, right?
Sure, but PlayLab is the like large scale at Worlds, at conventions.
Right, but when it's not at those places, it's just teaching people how to play.
Sort of,
okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, tell me what we've got.
But they're sending out a PlayLab Discovery Kit, which is so that at leagues, you can have the PlayLab experience with the demo decks, with the Pokécatch.
Okay.
You know, the nice, like, you don't have to print out Pokécatch and paste it to the back.
Nice mats and stuff.
You've got nice mats.
Okay.
And some other new products that I've got some pictures of that we can put up on screen.
Okay.
There are jumbo cards so that you can kind of show your players what
nice
stuff looks like. And these are the same jumbo cards that we had at Gen Con that I showed off. The Sprigatito.
Yeah, I remember those.
And
Sprigatito's they're like
line.
Bigger than normal. They're not like the jumbos from the boxes, right? They're bigger than those, if I remember.
I don't remember for sure. I think they're the same size, but I might be wrong.
I was thinking that they were like big.
Oh, no, we didn't. So it's not going to be the big ones. They're about the same size as regular jumbos. But that's, cards to show off. This is what a basic looks like. This is what a stage 1 looks like. There's, play mats, like I said, so that you can flip it over. It's Poke-Catch on one side. It's your normal play mat on the other side. The battle decks that we already have at leagues and stuff. But there's also some cool branded stuff like a dice tray.
Okay.
There's a, not quite TCG rule book, but like a how to play little booklet. There's some activity booklets for you to try and complete some tasks.
Okay.
So just kind of some neat. I don't think there's any new promo cards necessarily other than those jumbos.
I mean, that's good because, the jumbos aren't a thing that are going to be given out to anyone there.
Yeah.
They're going to be like those raid jumbos where it's the store owns them.
Exactly.
It's not something you can earn by showing up.
Exactly. That's actually the same. I think I forgot to mention that's the same for club. As libraries are getting these, the jumbos,
Well, as we saw the raid stuff for club, those had promo cards still associated with beating the raid bosses, though. So it was the Charizard, the Gengar, and Sirfetch'd, I think it was.
Those are the ones that we saw.
Yeah, so there were still promo cards for going and beating the raid bosses. So there were still some exclusive promo cards for club.
Yeah.
But it is probably better that, I don't love that club has them and I think it's good that this Play Lab and stuff doesn't, because it disincentivizes people who don't need the experience and who don't need to learn how to play. It disincentivizes them from showing up to get the promos and taking spots and time away from the people who actually need it.
And they did at the event say that club would not be getting any exclusive promos, so it's possible that they've decided not to send the promos out.
Oh, good. So now that we just know there are 3 promos at TPCI and they will get leaked at some point, and then they'll be $1,000 each.
I did not request clarification. I figured we would just kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all of this stuff is meant for, the group to keep, other than those demo decks.
Well, the demo decks, because it's just the fixed decks that get
exactly.
And they've been out at a lot of events.
Right. And they're already, like I said, out at Pokemon leagues. So if it was one card was a non-holo.
Yeah, there's one card that's actually exclusive to the deck.
So if that's something you're chasing,
that's been given out since Hawaii.
Okay.
Hawaii was the first time that double deck was given out.
Yeah.
And then there was a few month gap where it wasn't anywhere, but then since then it's been at PAX, Gen Con, all local leagues have it.
Yeah.
I think the deck, if you want to buy the deck, you can buy it for $10-15 or something.
Yeah. Or just go to your local league. They probably have some.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just some fun new stuff for getting learn to play stuff out for more people.
Cool. That's good.
One of the other presentations doesn't really have any, neat promo stuff associated. I just thought was really cool and wanted to talk about.
Okay.
So we had a presentation from someone who actually got to work in Play Lab at London.
Okay.
Who's part of the European team.
Okay.
And one of the things that he went over was how each of the different countries in Europe that's supported by a different TPCI representative has different needs.
Sure.
And so they run different programs based on what they think is going to be successful. And he kind of explained it like McDonald's. Every McDonald's is going to have a Big Mac, but not everyone is going to have a Royale with cheese or whatever.
Okay.
That's not right. That's what a Big Mac is called, isn't it?
No, it's the quarter pounder with cheese is a Royale with cheese.
That's right.
Because they don't use the metric system.
That makes sense. But each one has different things that only work in their country. And one of the cool ones that they are looking at bringing to more countries is one that was used in Italy. So I guess Italy is a country that in general kind of prefers competitive play, and they were looking at ways to get more people engaged at a kind of casual level.
Sure.
So they started Project Smeargle, which is just get people doing art.
Okay.
And the coloring pages that already exist, the stuff on Pokemon.com that you can access right now.
Yeah.
But they were doing like coloring contests and art contests, and just fun, neat things that I want to do because I like to color.
I posted the link to all that stuff in a local group this week because someone posted, here are some AI generated coloring pages I made for kids.
I did see
and
that.
I was like, okay, well, if you don't want kids coloring in Ghastly with a body or Plusle with a missing ear, here are some official ones that weren't made by AI.
Yeah.
And aren't nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
I think the person deleted their post. I think they realized that it was crazy. One of their Pikachu wrestling just against what looked like a rabbit. It wasn't a Pokemon. It was just some rabbit standing up and was in a wrestling with Pikachu.
Okay.
While it was being watched by Machamp with 2 arms and something else that was just floating in the air.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can, if you need coloring pages for Pokemon or word searches or any of the stuff, it's very, very easy to find. Google Pokemon official coloring pages and it will take you to the Pokemon Center website and there are loads you can download.
We can link them here probably.
Yeah, put the link in the description.
Here you go.
Yep. So that's cool, getting people started with stuff like that, and then hopefully that can build into competitive play.
Yeah, and it was cool seeing some of the other regions that they support. You don't think about Poland too often, but
I've been to Poland. Played a Magic tournament there. Went there for a Grand Prix.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was. I've also been there on a history trip with my school.
Let's go to Poland.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. I guess you maybe don't always think about Poland. I know that Poland's there. Maybe people who live in Poland probably think about it quite a lot.
Sure. One of the other programs, I can't remember off the top of my head which country this was used in. Maybe France. Actually, it may have been Poland. Okay. There was one country in particular where the number of leagues and stores was growing, but the player base wasn't.
Okay.
So they were looking at what's a good way for us to get our existing player base increased.
Yeah.
So they did this kind of bring a buddy initiative. And they were encouraging players who already existed to bring someone new into League and give them, extra packs, extra support for doing this. But they were also encouraging stores to run the 2 versus 2 format. And stores that did that got this really cool play mat that I've never seen before. So we can put a picture of it up. But this is kind of the fun stuff that if I could get my hands on this play mat, it's awesome.
Okay, nice.
But that's kind of the main stuff. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was an update to Pokemon Go that I found pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, we all leveled up 30 levels recently and all had to empty our bags because we got 1,000 items.
Yeah, there was that. So if you haven't played Go in a hot minute, maybe log in and
basically they upped the level cap from 50 to 80, and they removed any of the challenge requirements up to level 70 and way lowered the amount of XP that you needed. So everyone who logged in, it was retroactive. So I was at level 44, and then I think I'm at maybe 60 something now. But you just got all of the rewards for all of those levels in one go.
Yeah.
So I had to go through and bin 1,000 items. But I've maxed out my item bag, And I
Yeah.
had to bin over 1,000 items before I could spin a stop again.
Yeah. And I don't think we were unique in that.
What's crazy is so I follow it's Axon, world champion Go from a couple of years ago. Followed him on Twitter. He was posting because he obviously immediately went level 70 and then just had to do the challenge just to get up to 80. But he posted a picture of his like level 70 thing with like how much XP you had out of how much you needed. It was, I think, needed like 5 million. It was 1 billion XP that he had.
Oh my! Oof. Okay.
So he's just been going through it. I think he was going at like still like 3 levels in a day by doing the challenges.
Oh my goodness!
He's a world champion, so he plays all the time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
So obviously the summit kind of focused a lot on bringing Go and VG into local leagues and how to do that and what's good. One thing I forgot to write down, but I can share, is that we don't know what they're going to be. We don't have a date for it, but we do have confirmation that Pokemon Go and Pokemon video game events will start getting physical prizing from TPCI.
Oh, thank God! It's so hard running events for those games.
So they're going to be sending, again, like I said, we don't have any kind of idea what it's going to be, but we do have confirmation for sure stuff is going to be sent out. Probably not until next year.
Yeah.
You know, not sure when in next year. Maybe it won't be till the next kind of World Championship season. But it is coming.
Because for people who don't know, when we ran, we used to have a lot of video game events at our league, like before the pandemic and stuff. But card game events, it's really easy to do pricing for, because just when you set the price, you go, okay, this price would pay for this amount of packs. So you go, okay, like 1 pack per player goes into the judge prize pool or whatever. So let's say it's like $15, so they're putting 3 packs into the prize pool per player. So you just get everyone registered. You go, okay, there's this, start of round 1, we know there's this amount of packs in the prize pool. Do some napkin math, break it down, top 8.
Easy, yeah.
With video game, there wasn't any sort of easily scalable prize like that, because video game players don't want packs. And so it was like, we don't want to have a huge tournament and have like a terrible first prize. So there was one giant event we were running where it was we had different prize structures for like 8 players, up to 16 players, up to 32, up to 64, because it was so big. And we had to buy all the prizing as though each age division was going to have 64, just in case it did.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, we had to go the night before, or the week before, and we bought 3 2DSs, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we were trying to make it a big event and encourage them to buy to have enough people to use the 2DSs.
Yes, but it was like we didn't know.
Right.
And
so we had to get 3 of them.
I think maybe the Masters did get there, but
yes,
juniors, seniors didn't, so we ended up stuck with those. And then there's sometimes like you've got a copy of a gamer's first prize, and then there's other little prizes, but there was a lot of times we ended up just doing some similar thing where we go, oh, these players will put X amount into the prize pool, break it down, and then someone would drive to GameStop and just buy GameStop gift cards equal to that value. Yeah. Because it was just so hard to do prizing for video game events.
Yeah. That's honestly kind of the way to do it at this point.
I mean, if you're a game store that sells stuff that they might want, I mean, store credit works fine. Yeah, it's just we were running at a board game store, which we're nothing for video game players.
We're doing store credit even at the board game stores now that run the video game events, which isn't a ton of them. Partially because they can just use their store credit to buy into future events if they need to. But they can use it on sodas and snacks, and if they find a board game they want to get. But Go, you can always do like Apple credit or
Apple gift cards and stuff.
I think you can apparently buy coins.
Oh yeah, I think like Kroger and Costco and stuff have just like the Pokemon Go gift cards.
I think there's a way to do it online now too.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't looked into that. I just found out about it this past week. But one of the big things that I think is going to impact the Go competitive scene is that for this year, the digital age of consent is no longer an issue. So it used to be that Go players had to be over the digital age of consent in their particular area.
Here,
13 in the US, I believe.
But I know that it meant that Go only ever had one age division. They only ever had the Masters age division.
Correct. Now, that's not going to change. Go will continue to only have one age division for at least large events.
Okay.
I have not run a Go event in Tom, so I don't know if Tom separates out age divisions for local events or not.
Okay.
But it does mean that if you are under the age of like 16, under 13 whatever, you can now play using a Niantic Kids account.
Didn't Niantic sell Go? I thought Niantic got rid of Go. Didn't think Niantic had Go anymore. Or was it that Niantic as a company got bought out?
I'm not sure. I just know that the Niantic Kids account is what what you can use as a younger kid to have an account.
So you can play Go, but like you don't have access to the microtransactions.
Yeah, like Niantic Kids already existed before, so maybe it's that they bought that. I know that that's how people log in.
Okay.
And as long as you have one of those, if you're under the age, you can play in competitive events.
Got it. Okay.
And I think it's kind of like having parental controls set up. So depending on what age you are, you may have access to different things. You know, you may be able to like request purchases through a parent account.
So like your parent can maybe like put coins on your account if you did. Okay.
Stuff like that, yeah. But it protects your account a little bit better. And now it means that we can have, you know, younger kids playing at regionals, at Worlds, and maybe,
as long as they have a smartphone.
At regionals, no, you
but you will need to have a smartphone to have an account to play Go in the first place.
Sure,
to catch your team.
Sure, but I mean that's always been true of Go.
Yeah.
But you know, as long as you have a parent who's set you up with a Niantic Kids account and lets you play on their smartphone, that's really all you need.
Is it regionals provides phones for all Go players?
Yeah, so the way it works at regionals,
I knew they did for streaming and stuff. I didn't know if
so they actually have a setup of a certain number of the most recent generation of iPhones. So everyone has to play on an iPhone, which is a little annoying.
Okay.
As an Android user who doesn't understand how iPhones work. But since they do double elimination, they flight things.
Okay.
So not every Go player is playing at the same time.
Huh, okay.
So they might have like 4 tables of Go players, but 4 times that many flights.
Okay. Interesting.
And like I said, I'm hoping it just means that they can get more Go players, more, more prizing goes out, maybe we get more promo cards. Like at Worlds, they get the trophy, don't they?
They get the trophy card, yeah. They still get the start. It was starting last year. Go started getting the number 1 trainer style trophy cards. So Go and Unite started last year. There was a couple of years before that. Like as long as Go's existed, they've always got the like champion stamped festivals or resorts or whatever. They've always had that. The same as Pokken had those when they got it.
That's true, yeah.
Like Pokken always had the champion ones, but Pokken never got the actual trophies. And then starting last year, Unite and Go started getting the actual trophy card.
Because it was last year it changed the wording.
Yeah, last year the text on the card changed last year. For people that don't know, the trophy cards used to say, like, if you won this in whatever year, you can return to battle the best in the following year. But starting from Yokohama, no, was it Yokohama?
No, it was...
No, starting from Honolulu, yeah. They changed to say, if you won this card in this year, you can proclaim yourself as one of the top trainers. And that is because Unite teams, it's not... The team doesn't necessarily come back. Mm-hmm. And if the team does, it's not necessarily the same 5 players.
Exactly.
Whereas I think the Go winners still qualify auto for Worlds.
I believe so, yeah.
Because obviously, like TCG top 4... I mean, maybe TCG top 8, I don't remember. but at least TCG top 4 and VGC top 4 qualify for the following year's Worlds. Interestingly, 2013, the first year they gave them to VGC players, the number 1 through 4 trainers, it was, I believe, only 1 and 2 who were supposed to qualify for Worlds, and it had been only first and second video game qualified for the following Worlds. And I was talking to, I think it was Dave Schwimmer at an after party or something, and he went, yeah, we were going to just qualify the top 2, and then we realized we gave third and fourth a card saying, if you won this, you can come back next year, so we just had to give them the auto invite.
Oops.
That's what I was told, is that they weren't supposed to get it, and then they realized they put it on a card, so they had to. And then every year from then on, obviously, VGC just got the same card.
Yeah.
So they
kind of funny.
all got invited back. So yeah, the wording changed because Unite players don't get invited back necessarily.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Go is also getting some extra prizing, but in the form of like money at regionals, I believe.
Okay, like they're just raising the...
Yeah, I think it's... I don't think it's that they're raising how much the winners get. I think it's that more people...
It's just paying further down.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of good things for a game that I'm probably never going to be...
competitive at.
Yeah.
Because it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Because, mainly in Go, it's so hard to sort out your best Pokemon because, I know I just sort mine by 3 and 4 stars and I get rid of the 1s and 2s, but it's the 1s and 2s that are used in competitive play because there's a CP cap. So you want it to be like a 0, 15, 15. You want it to have like...
I think it's the opposite.
No, it's not. It's 0, 15, 15.
I thought you wanted the highest attack.
No, because defense and HP works are so intertwined. You can have 2 maxed out things without bumping the CP up too much. But if the attack was high, both the defense and HP would be really low.
Okay.
So you want the defense and HP both to be really high because then you get 2 really high stats and you want really low attacks.
The other thing is that the best players know how long each attack takes.
Yep.
So, they may know, oh, this is a 3-second attack, so I can do this many times before I need to use my big attack.
Yep.
Or, if my opponent's big attack is this, if I do this first, like if I push my button first, then I'll get the attack off first. And
there's stuff like... when you're doing the big attack and you're matching the stuff on screen, it's like if you only get a good instead of a great or an excellent, it uses less charge on the thing.
Something like that,
So it's if you know how much damage it does at each of the good, great, and excellent levels, you can decide if you only want to do a good because you think it will knock it out, or if you think they're going to use their shield, you only want to do a good so it uses less charge so you can hit it again later. There's a lot of that kind of thing that it would just be...
Yeah.
It's kind of like
wrap my head around
when people
it.
say it's like, oh, when you stop, there's no point in trying to be the best at chess because there's 1,000 years of people just being better than you. It's so hard to get caught up. It's that kind of thing. It's like, oh, there's just so much into that to really, really get into it.
And some of the best Go competitors are some of the younger ones. Like, I think one of the world champions was 16 when he won.
Beelzebub might have been this year.
Might have been, yeah.
The guy from India.
Yeah,
I think
he was very young.
He's very young, yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because quicker reaction times or better capacity to understand what's going on with all those numbers, but
maybe
I think it'll be really exciting to see if some of the younger players can take it on.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so since you've gone through all of your seminar stuff, since you mentioned different formats and stuff like 2 versus 2, Singapore have announced they've got an event coming up, I think in December, which is going to be like a team trios event. So it's a 3-person team. It's everyone's playing standard, and I don't think there's any rules on overlapping decks.
Sure.
But it's interesting to see a 3 versus 3 tournament, and it's the winners get 3 copies of playmat stuff, but there's 1 trophy between them. So we have no real information on it yet, other than it's going to be team trios. But
that's
an
very
interesting
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
I think a place like Singapore and Malaysia and the Philippines, they're doing different things to try and get their player bases growing. Because it's only really the last couple of years that they've actually had competitive. So I think they're just trying to really grow their stuff. They're having like a lot of beginner events and beginner friendly learning events, which is really cool.
I really like the idea of the team format, like the trios format. That
it was honestly one of my favorite things to ever do in Magic was play Magic with friends.
I really want to set up at some point, and maybe I'll do this with Tiebreaker now that we've got kind of a group together that can do fun events like this.
Yeah.
But I want to set up a team trios tournament where it's 3 different formats. So you've got a standard, an expanded, and a GLC player each.
I played in a lot of standard Modern Legacy. Like, those were really fun.
I think that would be such a cool format to do.
Let me tell you, one Team Trios Star City Open I did, I'm glad Hans Buckner ever even still talks to me of the time that he went 9-0 day 1 and me and Chase managed to just lose so much he didn't make day 2. Because it was so irritating because you had to go 6-3 to make day 2. Hans 9-0'd it, and me and Chase both went 5-4. We just either won or lost together. Like, if me and Chase had just staggered our losses differently, and yeah, because it was when Hans was playing Grisholbrand, and he got really good at that deck, so he was just rolling everybody. But we didn't make day 2 because me and Chase just either won together or lost together. I also enjoyed when games do if they're doing all standard or something, they put extra rules in. Like in Magic, the rule was, because obviously in Magic you don't have a maximum deck size, it's just 4 copies of any card. I think for Magic, the standard one was if you placed all 3 decks and sideboards on top of each other, it would still be a legal deck. So you could have 4 copies of any card split between the decks.
I like that, yeah.
That was one they did for standard. Then when it was modern, it was you couldn't have the same card in multiple decks.
Okay.
Just because in modern, it's so much easier to have like a one of that 3 people could have, like some graveyard hate spell or something.
Sure.
I know Lorcana's done it where it's like team trios, and across the 3 you have to be playing all 6 colors.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can pair them up however you want, but you have to be playing all 6 colors across your 3 decks. Pokemon doesn't really have anything that works like that, I don't think, but yeah, team trios in some kind of thought Pokemon, like modern expanded and GLC, standard expanded and GLC is probably
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it's just about getting enough players to make it like an event, because even like you normally need 8 players, but in teams you need to have a minimum of 24 players to make something fire.
Yeah, well, in Pokemon teams, you only need 4.
Okay, I forget that you can fly stuff with 4 in Pokemon. So.
But that's still 12 people.
Yeah, and it's about people. Yeah, it's about finding people with expanded decks is what it's going to be about if you do it that way.
Yeah, we would definitely have to run it with like proxies allowed, because expanded is so unsupported. Yeah,
because everyone's got standard decks and a lot of people have GLC decks, but no one's keeping expanded decks built.
Yeah, I mean, no expanded events are running. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to have an event for 2 years, there's no point in keeping a deck around.
And the online system doesn't even support expanded anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Because does it have all the sets? Does Live have enough sets? It doesn't have all the black and white sets.
No, I think it's backed up since it came out. They've added some of the previous sets, I believe, but not all the way back to black and white, I don't think.
Okay. Great. It's like how Magic Arena doesn't support Pioneer, which is crazy.
Which one's Pioneer?
Pioneer was like the new modern, where it had like a much later cutoff, but not all of the sets are on Arena, and like you can play. I think they have what's technically Pioneer events, but they just don't have all the cards on there.
Sure.
And like they keep releasing like special packs that you can spend a lot of money on, which gives you 4 copies of a bunch of cards. But from what people have said, it's like, oh, this card's in a load of decks. Like, yeah, but it comes with this one and you haven't released this one, so it just doesn't work. So, yeah. I mean, if you do it like team trios, everyone playing standard is probably the way it's going to end up. Having to be, at least for the first one, I think, without giving people a lot of notice to proxy expanded decks or test expanded decks.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's everything we need to cover today. You obviously had a lot to talk about with the seminar notes,
Yeah.
all the different things that went on. It seemed like a really good event.
It was fantastic, and it had kind of the same sort of collaborative feel of like the 2015-2016 Pokemon era, where TPCI and professors really knew each other.
That's good.
And really worked together, and staff parties were fantastic, like networking events.
I guess it's a lot harder to do that now when like world staff is so much bigger.
Yeah, and TPCI is so much bigger.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
there are people that were there that not only did I not know existed, but I didn't know that their job
Like the
existed.
departments existed.
Yeah. And so I think it's a really good way that they're reaching out to stores now.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, like I've said, they need to put huge priority on stores and stores that run leagues and stuff. So it's good to see that they're doing stuff like this and actually making a go of it. All right, well, I think that's probably it for today. I don't think we need to say anything else. Thank you for watching, listening, however you consumed this. We'll be back with another episode in 2 weeks' time.
Yep.
I'll have a news video, catch-up news video in a week's time. And I may have some other videos in between those. I've been bogged down with a lot of sorting and organizing. I do need to film some other videos, but
Sure.
guaranteed at least the podcasts and the news videos every other week. Thanks to More Than Ever for any music you heard throughout this. They let us use that for free.
Shout out to Chase, who got mentioned.
Oh yeah, Chase, who is the drummer for More Than Ever, is the person who won and lost Legacy while I was winning or losing Standard when Hans was playing Modern. Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, just I've had a good 2 weeks, couple of days.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be another good 2 weeks, although probably less eventful.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.